The member for Groom. Give the call to the member for Patterson.
Thanks, Speaker. My question is to the Deputy Prime Minister. Deputy Prime Minister, how will the Defence Strategic Review help prepare Australia to effectively respond to the changing regional and global strategic environment and ensure Defence's capability and structure is fit for purpose?
I give the call to the Minister for Defence and the Deputy Prime Minister.
Well, can I thank the member for her question, acknowledge her commitment to Australia's defence and also acknowledge the poignancy of asking a question about Australia's strategic posture on the 81st anniversary of the fall of Singapore. Yesterday, Mr Speaker, the government received the Defence Strategic Review from Sir Angus Houston and Professor Stephen Smith. It is a fundamentally important document. It runs to 157 pages in length. It contains 108 recommendations, many of which will obviously be classified. But more importantly than that, the Defence Strategic Review articulates a new strategic posture for our nation. Now, with apologies to those from the past for the crude simplification, over many decades, Australia's strategic posture has been centred on a defence of the continent, being a significant actor within our region and being a good global citizen. If you like, 3 concentric circles. And this frame has served us very well over a very long period of time. But quite obviously, in 2023, this is no longer fit for purpose. Because, Mr Speaker, today we live in a globalised, networked world, where, as a trading island nation, so much of our national income is dependent upon trade. And so any potential adversary can do our country enormous damage without ever having to set foot upon our shores. And so our national interest lies in having a clear set of international rules of the road around trade, around freedom of navigation, the global rules-based order, along with having the capability to hold any potential adversary at risk much further from our shores. And in order to achieve both of these objectives, we need a defence force which has the capacity for impactful projection across the full spectrum of proportionate response. Now, Mr Speaker, the theory is important, but what's absolutely critical is that we now build a defence force which has the capacity in its specific platforms and people to be able to achieve this strategic posture. And this is exactly what the Defence Strategic Review examines. Time will tell, but I believe this document will be a blueprint for defence thinking for many decades to come. The government will consider the review over the weeks ahead before we release an unclassified version of the review along with the government's response to it. But far from being the culmination of a process, this is really the beginning of a new era in strategic thought, which will build a strategic posture for our country, which will protect our national interests, protect our way of life and keep Australians safe.